Casablanca, welcome to the show. Casablanca The Gawd, one of
Yeah.
the best MCs in the game, Buffalo's own. Larceny available on all platforms now. Welcome to the show. How's everything going, Casablanca?
Everything going good, man. I had a little hiccup trying to log in. You know what I
Oh
mean?
no,
But
it's
I'm
all
here
good.
now. My bad. Yeah.
It's all good. So let's get into this new track. Just talk about the creation behind it, and then you linking up with the Montreal connection here. Let's get into it because I just saw the visual too.
Oh yeah, shit crazy. So Larceny, um, is the new single we just dropped. Just dropped a video for that as well. Uh, it's it's a different kind of track for me. You know what I mean? But it's one we coming to slap the town with. We coming to slap the world with. You feel
Hmm.
me?
It's just
Yep, yep,
the
yep.
only the prelude to Sip Tea in the Trap.
That's for sure. Katola did an excellent job. Shout out Katola on the beat and the whole project. Yeah, it's something special to me for sure.
I'm looking forward to
Kevin,
hearing it. Yeah, you have a great body of work for sure. Just checking it out. Soon Before Winter is probably my favorite song by you. We're gonna get into
okay.
everything in the background, just growing up in Buffalo, being around there. But you have a background of singing early on, so how come we didn't take things a little bit further into the singing game? Because your mother had the connection with Rick James back in the day.
Yeah, my mom's used to like do singing lessons with the Mary Jane Girls, which was a group that Rick James founded. They were out of Buffalo. They had a couple of his songs as well before Tina Marie platformed. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
rest in
sung in
peace.
church. Yeah, I sung in church. You know what I mean? I ain't even gonna hold you. You know what I mean? I was part of the choir. I almost joined the male choir of Harlem. So my background came from singing, so I have an overall love for music in general. You know?
I could tell it's displayed heavily in the music and all throughout your discography. Lucy, that's another top one. Tracy McGrady, you have a lot of banging records here. I think that this is something that's really going to get you to go forth. And you have the background just being a student of DJ Shay. So when was the first time that you were connected with DJ Shay?
Oh shit, me and Shay go way back. First time I was connected with DJ Shay was I think one of his first projects before he even put out. He used to put out these projects from Unsigned City. They were called DJ Shay's Unsigned City, and he got the best of the best in the city to collaborate on one CD, no matter what alliances that they already had. His goal was to put the best on one CD, produced by him, and try and make noise in the industry. So I've been with Shay from the insemination of DJ Shay. Basically, before he started, he was with Brotherhood Nation, which my cousin and my cousins were a part of that group with him. He was the DJ in that group. Shout out Brotherhood Nation.
They shout out to them. They were it was more of a conscious group, kind of like Poor Righteous Teachers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess that was the movement back then. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? At that time, that was the movement. It was conscious rap. You had Poor Righteous Teacher. You had Brotherhood Nation. You had the X Clan. You know, our groups like that. That was the forefront of what uh, they were doing.
Yeah, Arrested Development. You had a lot of trendsetters back in the day
Yeah,
pushing the
Tennessee. Yeah, for
message.
sure. For sure.
Absolutely. So when did you, because I know early on you always went by Casablanca, especially when you were in the streets, and then you were Casablanca the Don. So when did the rebirth of Casablanca the Don become Casablanca the Gawd?
I won't say rebirth. I'll say the growth. You know,
Mhm.
everything is birth. 9 months. It takes 9 months to be for a child to be born. It takes you to study 120 to possess the knowledge. You know, there is a process to everything. You know, it goes knowledge, wisdom, then understanding. Then once you have that, you have there's a process to everything that you do. So in the early stages, like I stated, I was Casablanca. I started off as Casablanca. Then I became Casablanca the Don. The raps kind of changed, you know. And then I had the overall experience from doing that, um, and I think I honed my craft to the fullest. So I am Casablanca the God.
Casablanca the God. I want to get into some of these studio sessions because Rodney was telling me about them. I did some research about you being in the studio with all the Griselda guys. So what were some of those first early memories of
Yeah.
you being
So
connected with
Rick,
God?
we had Rick Hyde in the back room. Benny was I used the same studio as I did, recorded with DJ Shay. We were on some of the same projects in the early stages. You know, I was still a street cat. I was still in the streets. You know what I mean? And at that time, they were in the studio. You know, Rick High basically slept in the studio. Shout out Rick High. He slept in the studio. He was a student of the game as well. But yeah, we recorded in the same studios, and even now, you know, I record in the same studio as Conway. We know the same people. I'm from Buffalo, New York. You know, I rap it. They rap it. You know, so yeah, we definitely came up in the same spectrum. You know, people went separate ways. You know, like I said, I did some things in the streets that separated me from music for a while. I also had my partner Doc Martin the whole time, and the reason why I am here is because of that. So, you know, I had my alliance with, you know, my friendship with DJ Shay, but I also had an alliance with my brother Doc Martin as far as his music goes, because we started this thing together. So I played both sides of the fence, basically.
And things kind of got a little stuck there when your partner moved out of state too, because that's someone that you were working with closely. So was there ever, because we saw what hip hop was going through for a point in time, especially with trap in New York, because it's been you guys in Buffalo and Rochester that have really been holding the torch down for the New York hip hop sound that we all know and love, as far as boom bap, lyricism, all that storytelling. So was there ever a point to where it was discouraging because you saw the way the game was going with everyone just running and trying to be a trap artist, everyone trying to sound Southern, and basically the New York City state radio stations just playing Southern artists and discouraging the real hip hop?
No, I won't say that. I don't listen to commercial music. I never have, and it really didn't play a part in my love for hip hop. I kind of distanced myself. I distanced from music itself. Period. And like I said, I exist because nobody exists the way that I think that they should exist. I've stated that before. That, you know, if it was somebody who came along that made me put my pen down, I would have. But we had some torchbearers here and there, and like I said, Griselda, for me, woke the music game up to what hip hop is and what it should sound like. And you know, Nas had made attempts at it. Shout out to what he's done to keep culture alive. But Griselda smacked the game open, and I was proud of that. It made me know that what I was doing in the dark could come to the light now, because there was a lane for it. You feel me? And then we just took it and we turned it into grown man music, because it differentiates from what your typical music would be. Hence Larceny.
And I could tell too within your music you have some Tupac influence with the la da 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 from Hail Mary. You put that in there. Even when you broke out.
So yeah. Go ahead.
I'll continue.
I'm a student of the game, and I think that flowers should be given through this thing, man. I'm an artist, man. I'm an artist. I respect the form of it. I respect where it came from. And we do our knowledge diligently when it comes down to this music shit. So I think, you know, to incorporate certain things, you know, even my song Slick Rick changed, you know, it's my way of paying homage without, you know, overdoing it.
Yeah, I did check out your Slick Rick song. How'd you feel about the new Slick Rick Nas collaboration that just came out?
I think it's awesome. I think one thing is a great thing is Nas himself is acknowledging the greats from the things that he has created with what he's doing, making sure that rappers who started this have insurance and health insurance, and making sure they get paid for what they created. You know, so I think it's beautiful for Slick Rick to be doing this thing. I thought he was great from to begin with, which is why I titled the song Slick Rick Change, which is why I you know, went that direction. I think people need these flowers while they still living, as opposed to being dead.
I agree. Yeah, Slick Rick, definitely one of the greatest of all time. The Great Adventures, probably, in my opinion, I think that's the greatest storytelling album in hip hop history for sure. The way that he was able to
greatest storyteller.
Yeah,
greatest storyteller. Ask Nas. Greatest storyteller.
Absolutely. There's no question about it. You were in the battle rap scene for a while. You'd be winning a lot of battles, especially with 64 MCs, but you decided to really step away when things became comical. So when did you start to notice battle rapping become a form of comedy?
For me, battle rapping started and is a way of showing your lyricism is what I thought it would be. So my attempt and my approach towards battle rapping was in a form of lyricism. I never attributed comedy, excuse me, to being MC. That's Will Smith. That's Eminem at times. That's, you know what I mean? I take rap serious. You know, I thought it was a lyrical thing. You know, and doing battle raps is what draws the crowd's attention. You know, if it is comedy, if it's, you know, if it's not comedy, it's what the crowd reacts to. And what I was starting to go through was the stage of it being comedy, because it started off as lyrics. You know, it started off as just lyrics. Ask the niggas in New York, they'll tell you battle rapping was, I'm going to lyrically destroy you. That's what I thought it was. But making fun of people and shit like that, that's not a part of lyricism, you know, to me. And I got less interested in it when it became like that, you know. So I destroyed niggas when it came down to the mic. I destroyed MCs when it came down to the mic. I won 3 straight Battle of the 64 MCs. So we talking about almost 200 MCs that I went by, no problem. You know, and I lost one. I think I won 2 straight. I won 2 straight. Came in second place because somebody brought like 100 people. You know what I'm saying? I brought 3, and you know what I mean. And then I won 2 more. So as far as battle rapping, yeah, I will still do that to this day if somebody opened their mouth. But you know, we kind of appreciate the art form of it, so we in a different direction now.
What are your thoughts on that whole cliche? Because I look at Big L as someone who's able to transcend that. You look at a record like MVP with Miss Jones, and he was able to make those mainstream hit records while being lyrical. How do you feel about that whole, where people say, oh, you know, battle rappers, they can't make hit songs, they can't make hit records? What do you think about that? I think that's an unfair statement at times.
Definitely. Everybody got a lane, you know? Just because you hear somebody battle rapping doesn't mean that they can't do this or do that. You know, I know a couple MCs like Goods. They can definitely they have transitioned to making songs and making shit that's appreciated. So I think that's total that's a farce when it comes down to the music. People gonna talk. People gonna say what they're gonna say. You know what I mean? So you can't let that dictate the direction of where culture is.
No, you can't. No, absolutely. So there's always this story that goes around on the internet, because everyone always looks at Eminem as the battle rapper, but there's a story about Big Pun wanting to battle Eminem. What do you think that might have looked like? Because I feel as though Eminem might have been really challenged by Pun. Pun was one of the most dangerous lyricists.
Pun was lyrical. Pun was very lyrical. I think his cadence was more than. To me, I appreciated his cadence more than I did his lyricism. To me, cadence is more important because that means that you can transition the song. But man, I don't know. Eminem's a hell of a freestyler.
Yeah.
I never knocked him for that. What I didn't like was the bum on your lips shit. You feel me? I'd rather he came like the early Eminem, hungry, blah, blah, blah. But commercial is a funny thing. Radio is a funny thing. It'll make you do things that you wouldn't normally do. So I appreciated the early Eminem. I like the battle rap Eminem. It's crazy. Yeah, crazy. Yeah. So I'm definitely going with Eminem in that aspect. But if we talking songs, I think Big Pun cadence on the song might have been better, but strictly freestyle, I don't think many people want to parse Eminem.
No one. Everyone's afraid of that, and rightfully so. But yeah, absolutely, I think you're 100% right. So, how involved are you into this new battle rap thing? Because you have a big battle rap thing that goes on in Buffalo now. Are you part of that in any way? Maybe even behind the scenes? Are you? Shout
out to my nigga Napalm, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, Big Bro, Berserk, shout out to them boys, man. I watch it from time to time. I stay attached to it because, like I said, that's what birthed me. But, you know, I'm kind of out of it, man. To me, you know, when I came from, you know what I mean, battle rapping had a beat. I'm not the acapella battle rap. I want a beat on, man. You know what I'm saying? So that ain't even my lane. Throw a beat on. Let's see who can I see you do it the best. I'm not an acapella battle rapping kind of guy, man. But shout out to the people that do that, man. Man, because it's still it's a form of art for hip hop. But yeah, if I, you know what I mean, if you want me to be into it, throw the beat on. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
throw the beat
I ain't
on.
no acapella. Yeah, throw the beat on. That's the only way we gonna know. No acapella rap. Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean, it is to each his own.
Exactly. Half a Mil, Nas, AZ, those were some of your major influences in the 90s. What's your top, because you are a big Nas guy, what's your top Nas album?
Big Nas guy. Big Nas guy. Shit, it was written.
It was written. Yeah, I agree. Everyone always says Illmatic because that's the holy grail people go right to. They say it's the greatest hip
That's
hop
where he
album.
started at. Yeah, that's where it started at. Yeah. But to me, you know, it was written. I like it. It was written with that shit.
Absolutely, yeah, same. And then when you look
favorite
at
favorite artist, definitely a close second, Half a Mil.
Half a Mil. He's underrated.
Very underrated. A lot of people say Big L what they list of shit, but I don't think Big L's musical catalog had a chance to do anything. I know Nas he's finna put out Nas Mass Appeal Records finna put out some Big L stuff, or if they haven't done it already. But I hadn't had my brother was a huge Big L fan. I haven't had a chance to enjoy him because he died too soon. You know what I mean? So I was more of a Half a Mil fan. Rest in peace, Big L. Rest in peace, Half a Mil.
Yeah, tragic that we lost both of them, and it's unfortunate. Your brother, how's your brother? Because he was the one that introduced you to KRS-One and EPMD, and that's what really sparked you to want to really take this hip hop thing to the route as well.
Yeah, my brother, he's alive and well. He's doing real good. He's still a historian. He finds new music every day. He's the one that is responsible for my knowledge of music. He put me on to artists way before my time. When I say my time, it's my learning stage. You know, I learned all my musical genius from my brother, man. Bob, shout out to you. I love you, man. Yeah, he's the boy. He listens to shit like Fela Kuti and shit, man. You know what I mean? You know who Fela Kuti is? You know who Femi and Fela Kuti is, man? That's African. They do like a form of like African jazz, kind of, sort of, yo. The shit is crazy, and yeah, he introduced me to that. So yeah, shout out Bob, man. I like you, kid.
Why do you think Buffalo is so underrated? Because I feel as though now you're finally getting the flowers a little bit with the Griselda movement. It's building up, because when you have legends like Rick James and Brian McKnight and others that have come from there, why do you think it's taken so long for you guys to get your acknowledgement?
Because of New York. New York got a stranglehold on that shit. You know what I mean? Music came from New York. You know, hip hop came from New York. That's what everybody thought. That's what the world thought. That's what people in Germany thought. That's what people over in England thought. You know, hip hop came from New York. You know what I mean? And New York had a stranglehold on that. Shout out to what they did, the early artists. You know, Kool Herc and you know, and all that. You know, the whole movement. That's what it was. You know, and Buffalo was. You know, people ask me, did we? I like I got a cow in my backyard, son. You heard me? You know what I'm saying? We'll talk. You know what I mean? People thought that, you know, Buffalo was some Western like thing. It's Western New York. But I think that, you know, that made the aspiring artists in Buffalo go harder at their craft, which is why Griselda was born. You know what I mean? They went through 7 different phases of before they are who they are now. You know? But I think that that's what it is. We were hungry. We were starving. We were tired of the narrative. You know how many times you know the narrative of Buffalo was? It wasn't hip hop. It was the Bills.
The Buffalo Bills. Cool G Rap used to rock the Bills hats back in the day in his videos.
Yeah, he was the Bills fan. Shout out Cool G Rap. He was a Bills fan for sure. But it wasn't the narrative of the Bills. You know, it wasn't the narrative of anything. It was Rick James and the Bills. You know what I mean? So I think that was the problem in the early stages, and that's why it took so long for Buffalo to get recognition. But hip hop was dead. I'm with that narrative. It was dead. Nas was right. Hip hop was fucking dead at a certain point, and I think Griselda took a needle and gave a shot in the arm and let people know that it wasn't.
I agree. Big Bills fan. How do you feel about the upcoming season?
Huge Bills fan. Big
Hmm
is an understatement. I think this season is even more critical than any seasons we had prior because the window's getting smaller for the
hmm
Bills, as it would any NFL team. You don't stay relevant that long. You got a small window with the talent you got to try and produce something great. So I think there's a lot of pressure on Josh Allen to stay healthy, and the core players that we have to step up. We can't keep losing to Kansas City.
I'm tired of them. I'm glad that they lost to the Eagles. It gets tiresome.
Me too, but we can't keep losing to Kansas City. Pretty
No.
soon I'm gonna have to coach and step down. You know, people call for the head of Mike Tomlin, and he's been over 500 and made the playoffs since he's been there.
hmm
Excuse me. You know, so at some point you got to start looking at the coach if you can't get over the hump.
Yeah,
You know, so
McDermott, the coach.
got to. You
Yeah,
got to
you
beat
do.
Kansas City. You got to beat Kansas City. You got to beat Kansas City. You can't lose to Kansas City 6 years straight. You know, I don't know what the record is now, but we haven't lost to Kansas City for the past 3 years in the AFC Championship. Come on now.
It's too much. It's time for their reign to really end. Once the Eagles beat them, let's just get it over with. Just keep pummeling them so that they can't get back.
And the Eagles not stepping back neither. They're gonna show up this year too. So it's gonna be a tough year for us. We pray, we hope Josh Allen can stay healthy. Because without him, I think we got Mr. Trubisky on the backup, and he's no Josh Allen. So yeah,
No,
I'm a huge Bills fan. Sure.
he's not that good. Who's your favorite Bill of all time?
Bruce Smith.
Bruce Smith. Oh yeah, he's best pass rusher. I know everyone's gonna say LT, but when we look at the defensive line, Bruce Smith's right up there.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, Bruce Smith for sure.
There's
I'm
no.
a huge sports guy. Bruce Smith is yeah, definitely my favorite. Definitely.
Yeah, that '90s team.
I see your Knicks hat. I see
Yeah,
your Knicks hat too.
I'm a Knicks fan. Are you a Knicks fan?
Hell no.
Who you like the Raptors because of Tracy McGrady?
I'm a LeBron fan.
You're a LeBron fan. How do you feel about these rumors about him potentially not staying in LA, even though he just opted in? There's these rumors that he might go to the Knicks. I don't buy that. I really don't.
I think he's one of the greatest players that ever played the game. He's one of the most athletic players that we have ever seen. He has stressed the years of playing in the game by far. We talking about a 40-year-old man at a dunk on your ass still. Put some respect on his name. I do know that people always badger him for the way that his path went. I do think that that's not agreeable by me. I think that's kind of soft too. But man, I went from watching Michael Jordan, and my whole concept of basketball is it's electrifying, it's high flying, it's you know what I mean. So when Jordan career came to an end, I was looking for somebody that kept me watching basketball, and LeBron James, other than Kobe Bryant, of course, the God, uh, LeBron James made me want to keep watching basketball because he was playing it sort of like Michael Jordan. He's not as great as Michael Jordan. I'm not putting him on the same platform as Michael Jordan. I'm just saying that LeBron played the game at a level that I've seen Mike play it. High flying, dunking over people, floating from the foul line, jumping high. That's what I watch the game for. That's why players like Dominique Wilkins, Tracy McGrady, players like that impressed me because I watched it not to just watch a team win. I wanted to see some high flying, jumping, scoring, dunking, blocking things that basketball entails.
Mm-hmm. With Tracy McGrady, because I know there's a lot of controversy going on. It's all these players are just kind of dogging Kobe, and I've been speaking out against that. Because I saw Matt Barnes saying that they weren't talking this way when Kobe was here, but I've been seeing a lot of hate against Kobe for some reason. And the only thing I can think of is
Kobe,
that yes,
Kobe was the second. So my player Mount Rushmore goes, and I hate to say it like this because there's some players, Patrick Ewing is not one of the greatest at his position in all time. I'm sorry, Knicks fan. But it goes Mike, Kobe, and you can argue LeBron and Steph.
mm-hmm.
The other players I don't put in that spectrum is like Bill Russell. They're the gods. They don't fit there. You know, you got a player number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those guys don't fit there. You know, Wilt Chamberlain and those guys are the gods. They're in the insemination of professional basketball, so they don't go down on the list. But if we creating a list, number 1, Michael Jordan. Number 2, Kobe Bryant. And then we can argue Steph Curry or LeBron at number 3.
You don't think Ewing's a top 5 center?
Of all time? Hell no. I can name 5 better.
Okay, because I put Ewing at 5. Who do you put above him? Because of Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaq.
Stop. Where does David Robinson go?
You probably 4. Wouldn't you put him at 4?
How many? All right. So you say who your list is?
I put him above Ewing, unfortunately, but I do put him above Ewing.
So who in your other 4? You got David Robinson and who else?
Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Shaq.
Okay.
Kareem. Yeah, so we put Ewing at 6.
That's 5 right there.
We put Ewing at 6.
I don't know. Shut the door. I don't know. Maybe. Ewing don't got a ring. I'm a ring party guy. I'm a ring party guy. If I have a ring party and you can't show up, to me, that's got a lot to do with it.
But if you look at it, Ewing never had anyone around him, though. He really did. So you telling me Ewing better than the Joker? Two different types of centers, though. 2 different types.
So what? We're strictly talking about the position now. Is Ewing better than the Joker?
I wouldn't put Jokic over Ewing. I just wouldn't. Even though he's just recently won.
What did Ewing do?
Ewing carried the Knicks for years. He carried them for years, man.
I wanted to see that Knicks fan side of you. I ain't gonna hold you, son.
He carried the Knicks for years. Jokic,
man, them knees was bad early, son. I was, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I'm a Chris Childs fan, son. You know what I mean? I used to watch it. I'm John Starks fan, son. Now I'm talking about I'm a Bernard King fan. So I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the sport. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Bernard King fan. You
Number
feel me?
30.
But you know, the Knicks always came up short for me. They was the same as the Bills, in my opinion. The New York Knicks is the Buffalo Bills of basketball. You know? They had a lot of great players. They should have won a championship when they had fucking Grandmama. You remember they had Anthony Mason and them. They had, how y'all ain't won a chip then?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Yeah, they should have won. But I will admit, well, you know why they didn't win? Because Ewing got hurt in that series against that when he played the Heat. He got hurt, so he didn't even get to play. He didn't play in the finals that year. So all he had was Sprewell and Larry Johnson. So
I ain't gonna. I'm gonna stop talking. Yo, you a huge Knicks fan, son. But yeah, I ain't gonna hold you on that. You know, respect to what the Knicks did. I'm a LeBron fan, but back to this Casablanca Larceny shit, man. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother show. You might have to call me back so we can talk some sports, man. I'm willing to debate with you all day. You hear me? Right.
I'm telling you, you gotta get your. Hey, why don't you call Benny and you guys can get a nice Ewing collaboration going for Casablanca The Gawd for this whole Sip Tea and the Trap project. How about that? You'd get some custom Ewings.
Yeah, that's definitely a fact. I'm a fashion guy. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's not out of my spectrum as well. You know?
Ewing.
Ewing is a great, but man, you just put him out. You started with him in your top 5, but upon our conversation, you put him out.
6. I'll give it to you. 6. I'm not putting Jokic over him. I get he's won a ring, but yeah, I'm not putting Jokic over him. I don't care if he won a ring. I don't, because if you're a big ring guy, how come Robert Horry isn't top 10 when you think about it? If
he's not in matter, he's not in my top 10.
Yeah. See, rings don't mean everything because everyone.
At 4, you talking about at 4? Is Robert Ory in my top 10? He's not in my top 10.
Or even like put it this way: we all call Michael Jordan the GOAT, but Bill Russell has more rings. He's got 10 rings. If we're going by rings, why don't we call Bill Russell the greatest of all time instead of Jordan? So that's why I don't say rings don't mean, they mean something, but not entirely.
Unfortunately for my list, Bill Russell, I haven't had a chance to watch a ton of his games. I think the game evolved from where Will Chamberlain played it at to where it's being played at now. All those things play a factor in the way that I have to judge the game as well. But I'm just judging it off my knowledge and what I have seen. From what I've seen from Bill Russell is, what I've seen from Bill Russell. I ain't watched his span. I ain't even watched 5 years of Bill Russell playing basketball, so I can't judge him in that spectrum. It's unfortunate for him, but I'm just stating facts for me. What I've watched was Shaquille O'Neal take the center game to a whole nother spectrum. I think he's number one damn near on my list because he turned it and dominated the center. He changed the center position for real. How you had to guard it and everything. And I think the Joker is the same way. These dudes, Joel Embiid, these dudes shoot 3-pointers at a high fucking clip. You gotta guard these dudes at the top of the key. A center. We're talking about a center that you gotta guard at the top of the key. That's crazy work.
I'll tell you who's the best shooting center.
That's crazy work.
He's probably going to go down as the best shooting center outside. That's Karl Anthony Towns. And I'm not even, that's a fact. They're saying he's one of the best shooting center. You see the way Cat pulls up?
Y'all better get him out of there now. Y'all better get him out of there now. Undefensive. He's the same to me as about Anthony Davis. Him and Anthony Davis, I rate about the same. I'll get 30 from you, and then next game you gonna give me fucking 6. Yo, big ass.
Karl Anthony Towns, it's the defense for me that just it shakes my head. If he had Patrick Ewing's defensive,
throw his hand out.
Yeah,
that's all he do. You see me? Can you see me? That's all he do. Going right by him. I know. I'm like I said. I basketball is one of my favorite sports. I study that. There's a lot of players that I love. But like I told you, when you ask me who my favorite team is, I told you LeBron. I'm not a team guy. I'm a fan guy. I think a lot of people need to be more honest with that. I follow him anywhere. If you go to Germany tomorrow, guess what I'm watching? Germany basketball. I want to see what he's doing. So I'm a fan of LeBron James. I'm a player fan. That's how it started. That's how people became. Everybody loved Mike. Everybody. So that's what got me into the player fan. Then Tracy McGrady came. Then Kobe came. I'm a player fan. So Steph Curry. Yeah. I don't got no team. I'm a Bills fan to death.
Bills Mafia. Bills Mafia. Well, I will say this just to close out the Nick Ewing segment. You mentioned Shaq changed the center position. He did. Shaq puts Ewing in his top 5. I've heard him say it multiple times. His top 5 center. Shaq puts him there.
He is Ewing is top 10. There's a lot of people who came and changed the center game after him. You have to also consider that. He played it, because we ain't even talking about Karl. What did Karl Malone play? What did Karl Malone play? Where you got him at?
Yeah,
was forward, right? Karl Malone was forward, wasn't he? He ain't played center because I think they had the other tall dude. Yeah, they had the other tall kid. The other tall kid, Keith dude, whatever his name was. They had another tall center there in Utah when Karl Malone played. But if you wanna ever have a professional sports talk, I'm with you, bro. We can talk about that. Yeah, I'm very into it's not just basketball, football. We can talk a little tennis. You know what I mean? Whatever you want.
Oh yeah, I'm not into tennis. I'll tell you this: you got the football talk. I'm not a football fan anymore. You got the football talk. I was a Jet fan for years. Okay. It's over. I'm tired of that garbage team. So I'm tired of them. They're gangrene, rotten gangrene, garbage. That's what they are. No doubt. So let's get back to Larceny. So what's going to be the rollout from here? Because you got the Sip Tea and the Trap coming up. So what's going to be the rollout here? Because you're someone that looks like you take your time with this. I mean, you could tell just by the quality of the music.
So Sip Tea and the Trap is dropping August. I think it's 22nd. And we loaded already for the project after that. We're going to ride this out. And we got more videos to drop. Sip Tea and the Trap. Our next video is probably going to be a selfish prayer, which is on there as well. But yeah, stay tuned, man. Shout out Katola on the project, man. It's a beautiful piece of work. I've made the motion picture. We did a motion picture thing there. Shout out Doc Martin, Rodney Corsi. Shout out my publicist. But yeah, we going up from here, man. We got things locked and loaded already. This is not we ain't thinking day by day. We already made those thoughts and we already put those things in place. And we got things cocked and loaded for it. So we already ready for what's coming after the Sip Tea and the Trap.
I'm looking forward to it. So what's this update? Because you were going to do something overseas that I was looking into. So what's the update on this, if you can give anything about it?
So we had a tour that was coming up. It's kind of stalled out right now. Negotiations have stalled. We're trying to work through those things, and that is soon to come. But yeah, we're definitely about to step out on some shows. So you're going to look forward to seeing Casablanca performing. And doing some of this new CD, Sip Tea and the Trap. Shout out, like I said, Doc Martin, the whole Compass 120, Rodney, man. Shout out for getting this interview locked in, and you too, man, for having me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. It's been a great time.
Yeah, on the 4th.
I don't celebrate, but that's a whole other discussion.
Me too. I'm on the same board. That's another show within itself right now.
Yeah, it really is.
I'll celebrate.
I am wearing that flag. I'm just not doing it. Sorry, not sorry. So, man, yeah, I want to congratulate you on everything that you're doing, because I believe that you really got a movement going, especially with Compass 120. It's really putting it down for the culture. You're acknowledging the people. That's the main thing that you're doing with your movement, and I respect that. And it's real hip hop, grown man music. That's the main thing. It's really gonna have an impact out here.
Essentially, it's not about what I create. It's about what the people want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, it's about the people. At the end of the day, you got to make music for them, so I have to consider them when I'm writing it. I want to make music that people understand, can relate to, and enjoy at the same time. It's not about just me and my struggles. I'm going to tell you about those, but I'm going to make them relatable to what you're going through, too, because I went through the same thing. And hopefully, going through that, we can teach some people and help some people in the process, man. Grown man music is what we do. It's our own lane, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. Another side note before we close out, Ewing never had a Tim Duncan either. Because think about it, Robinson didn't win a ring.
He had, what's your boy name? He had Charles, what the fuck is the Charles nigga name? Fuck, man. At the other tall kid he had, man. He had a couple tall kids. Ain't no excuse for Ewing. He had John Starks and the boys.
They were all-star
he had
players,
Charles King, wasn't he? Charles King, what was
it, Charles Smith?
Who? What'd you say? Yeah, Charles Smith.
Yeah, no, John Starks.
They weren't all-star players. They weren't all-star players, but shit. What was the team that LeBron had when he took Cleveland to the finals? Go.
There was really no one there. Well, LeBron's a whole other level than Ewing.
Eric Snow? So is Ewing great or not? Because is he great or not?
Ewing's great. And I'm not even being biased because I'm a Knicks fan. I just feel as though that he gets so much hate. And he gets hate because of a missed layup against Indiana that rolled out? I mean, because he hasn't won a ring because he got dunked on by Scottie Pippen and MJ? John Starks dunked on Akeem Olajuwon. No one ever talks about that. No one talks about MJ getting crossed by Allen Iverson all the time. Too.
Yeah. So there's a ton of centers that played that position, right? Better than he did. And there's going to be a ton that play better within the next 10 years. That's why Ewing is a iffy at 5. That's what you moved him from 5 to 6 on our conversation.
Well, I'm saying Ewing didn't.
Am I lying here? He was basic at best. Ewing was a basic center at. How he didn't. What?
He was not basic.
What?
Basic.
The one squad, I can't bring him up, huh?
Basic.
Ewing basic at best.
You're a Ewing hater. Why
Ewing
do you,
basically
okay,
got
what did
best.
Ewing do to you? You must have went to go see Ewing and he didn't sign your autograph or he didn't take a picture with you. Something's going on. What's the Ewing hate for? That's what I want to know.
Nah. So
Ewing hell was the face in New
Michael
York. You're a
Jordan
New
really.
Yorker. I don't care. You're in Buffalo. You're still a New Yorker. He held New York down for over a decade. That's the guy right there.
I'm a Buffalo Braves fan. Fuck. I'm a Buffalo Braves fan. So yeah. Ewing was definitely New York. I'm not knocking Ewing. I'm not trying to like deplete his fucking history here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to analyze the position for one. We
Mm-hmm.
analyzing the position. We're talking about the center position, and I'm talking about statistically as well. Statistically, there's guys that's going. The Joker already probably have better numbers than Ewing. Can we admit that? Is his numbers better?
Probably. I still don't put him over him.
He's not retired yet. We talking about a player that's still playing the game. So the elevation of the position has came up because we both agreeing that the Joker got better numbers than Ewing, and this motherfucker ain't retired yet. I'm telling you, call me Monday on the sports shit. Yes, we can do this all day. We switch another team. Talk about what other team you like. You like baseball? How about hockey?
I'm not a hockey guy. That's too preppy for me. Baseball, I'm a little iffy on it. But if I were to root for a baseball team, it's the Mets.
Not the Yankees?
No, I don't like I don't like what the Yankees stand for. I just think it's that there's a lot of privilegedness and preppiness that go into that team, and I don't like it. I really don't. I get that the logo's big within hip hop music and it's universal, but there's a lot of things I just think their fans are just spoiled brats. I don't like
it's bigger. So if you're a sports fan, it's bigger than the hip hop. You know, if you're a sports fan, it's bigger than hip hop. You start admiring the players and what they do and what they stand for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge Sandy Koufax fan.
Okay,
you know
the Dodgers.
So I go way back with the Dodgers. Or Hershiser.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that World Series personally. But the Yankees now, I'm a fan of. I think Roger Clemens. I watched him come from before the Yankees to when he got to the Yankees. So I was a Yankee fan. And the blue and white. You know, you like rocking that Yankee shit. I know I got a Toronto Blue Jay shit on right now, but it's just
got the lead on them. They just got. I got
plenty of in the AL, I got plenty of different hats. I wear anything. People are like, yo, you a Detroit wearing? Nah, it's just the outfit. Don't get it twisted.
It's the culture. You got to wear different hats. You can't wear the same hat all the time. You got to switch it up.
Got to switch it up, man.
Got to switch it up. Man. Yeah.
So how you like that project? So you listen to Larceny. Did you see the video?
I checked it out. Yeah, I saw that at the table and everything. I saw what was going on there. Shakedown.
How you like that?
Yeah, it was fire.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hey, I'm on board with you. I'm an MC guy, a lyrical guy. I get as a journalist that I've had to cave a little bit. When I first started, I was really strict on not having a lot of people that did like trap and drill and stuff like that. But in order to survive, you kind of like have to. But at the end of the day, I still keep it real, and I promote lyricism. That's what that's the forefront. The other stuff, it's kind of like you gotta do certain things to survive. I'm not gonna say I go over the cliff and interview like an Ice Spice or a 6ix9ine. That'll never happen. But there are certain artists I've had to cave to, unfortunately. But I would never go too far over the top.
No doubt. I appreciate you for having me too, man, and being able to speak on your platform. You know what I mean? I know we got heavy into the sports and shit. My you know what I mean? My manager texted me like, "Yo, man, where you going with this?" You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to get too far into sports. That's another conversation, and I'm open to that too. Like I said, my history in sports is huge. I'm diverse when it comes down to that. So it's not just one particular thing. Like I said, I'm a Mike McDonald and Jamie Langerbuer fan. You wouldn't know what that is unless you were into hockey. But yeah, my shit's diverse.
So Sabres?
Maybe we got to do. No, I'm not a Sabres fan. No.
Who's your hockey team?
I'm not a Sabres fan. And the Dallas Stars was my hockey team. Yeah, back. We're talking 15 years ago.
How
when they had Mike McDonald players like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about some fashion? You got some merch coming out with this new project? Because you're big. You mentioned it, you're a big fashion guy. You got some
Tons of
fashion stuff on here.
I got tons of merch. I got hats coming out soon. We're just trying to finalize what the final look's going to look like. We do have fitted caps, snapbacks coming out soon with the logo on them. I got t-shirts that you can order online. That's going to come in the package. If you order vinyl, CD, we throw in the t-shirt for you. So yeah, we got tons of merch. We're also working on some new designs for socks. Yeah, stay tuned, man. Casablanca The Gawd, Compass 120, Doc Martin, Rodney, we doing this shit, man. It's coming heavy, 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 heavy. You know what I mean?
He's doing it. And I will say this too, because when you break out in the singing on Soon Before Winter, it reminded me of When a Woman's Fed Up. It really did. When you broke into that right away, is that what you were trying to go for at that record?
Yeah, well, it's the same. It's the same. It's the same like dialogue to it. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? So you kind of gave it the same hating. But yeah, yeah, I was actually in the window at the time writing that with snow hitting the ground, man. It was crazy. You know, it
Wow.
actually the environment wrote the song for me. You know,
Yeah,
yeah.
we need more of that. I think it was really good because I know a lot of times hip hop artists
So
will
we
break.
got a song on the we got a song on 15 the Trap. It's called Opposite Snitching. It's shot by my man. My man singing is Paranoids on that shit. Check for that joint, man, when the CD drop. It's called Opposite Snitching. You know what I
Opposite
mean?
snitching.
So yeah,
Hmm. So who are some
yeah.
people? Because
With my man Paranoid.
you work with a
Go
lot
ahead.
of MCs. We didn't even get into Che Noir. We didn't get into her. You had her on a recent record produced by V Don, of course. But who are some
Che Noir.
lyricists?
So yeah.
Who are some
Yeah,
lyricists you want to
I got
work
another
with?
joint. Well, I got another joint following up with that with Flea Lord. That's gonna drop. I'll try to keep it a little secret, but now they know. My next, I got a single coming out with Flea Lord. I know.
Fire.
Yeah, it's gonna be Where You At. You know what I'm saying? So that shit is gonna be crazy. But yeah, if you ask me, a lot of artists I would want to work with. I don't know. There's Jill Scott, um, Music Soul Child maybe. We try to make different kind of music, so it's a different broad of artists that I would
Hmm.
want to pull from to consider to make music with, other than what's going on in the norm. You know.
How about like a Razzcast?
Raskaz is dope, one of the greatest lyricists. I would think like if I had to choose and pick from a pool, if we're talking about someone who is who I like I said, some of my greatest artists are already passed on and dead. But I would love to do a song with 500,000.
500,000.
Man, that would be crazy. Yeah, man, 500,000, man. I would love to do a song with him. I even like what's them kids that sung what's that joint the Broken English Cats. I forgot the name of them joints. I'm gonna but never mind. Man. I ain't gonna do that on there. I gotta find out.
Okay.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
all
But
right.
yeah, man. Thanks for having me, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate you, man, for sure.
you already
Shout out
know.
everybody. Go out and check out that video, man. We just dropped Larceny, man, off the project Sip Tea in the Trap, which is gonna drop August 22nd. Shout out to my publicist Rodney.
Shout
Shout
out
out
to
to
him.
Compass 120. Go to Casablanca.com. Get you a T-shirt. Pre-order the vinyl, man. That shit is crazy, man. We changing the frame of this music shit. Buffalo, New York, stand the fuck up, man. Casablanca The Gawd, man.
You already
Yeah.
know. Casablanca the guy was here. Thank you for coming on the show, man. Let them know they can follow you on Instagram, all your platforms too, so they can tap in.
Casablanca The Gawd on any platform. Type it in, we right there. Casablanca The Gawd Facebook, Casablanca The Gawd Instagram, CasablancaTheGawd.com. Order your t-shirt. We got hats coming. We got vinyl coming. The new CD dropping, Sip Tea in the Trap, August 22nd. Video drop the Data Larceny. Single drop the Data Larceny, produced by Catola. Shout out Montreal. Shout out Buffalo, stand the fuck up. Shout out Syracuse, where I'm at right now. You feel me? Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate you,
You
man.
already know, man. Anytime, you're always welcome back on the show. We got to do a special sports episode too. We got to get more in the depth.
Whenever boxing, man, boxing, son. Yeah, what you think about that? You know what I mean? We're gonna have Canelo next time. We're gonna be talking. It's gonna be Canelo and your boy fight. What's the boy? What's his name?
Who is that? Jake Paul?
No, Canelo fighting the champion, the one who beat come on,
I'm not
sports
into
guy.
boxing. I'm not into it.
You know what?
No,
Yeah,
I'm not into
Canelo.
boxing.
You know who Canelo is? You know who Canelo is, right?
No.
Terrence Crawford and Canelo fighting in September. Huge boxing match for the belt.
I just feel as like the same way that you said that battle rapping was a comedy. I feel like boxing's become a comedy with this Jake Paul nonsense. He's not a boxer. I'm sorry.
He changed the whole game. It's over for them. It's WWE now.
Yeah, it is. That's why I can't take it seriously. It's Mike Tyson with the Jake Paul. Mike Tyson lost respect for me with that.
I didn't watch that shit, but I'm gonna tell you this. Shout out Walt Frazier walking in the motherfucking Madison Garden with the full-length mink on, nigga. I got, you know what I mean? Props out to the Knicks, man. There ain't no hate here. We were just basically talking basketball, and I wanted to incorporate my thoughts into that and what I thought of it. That I still got players, like I said, respect to Bernard King, John Starks. There's players that I admire and played the game for the Knicks that it'd be huge to me, and even Patrick Ewing. I don't know, I badger him, but I'm talking about in reality and what it is. So shout out to the Knicks. There's no hate there. I am a Buffalo Braves fan. Bob Lanier, players like that. You know what I mean? But no shade to the Knicks, man. I wish they win a chip. I'm hoping they win a chip. You know what I'm saying?
I'm hoping.
They should have done it. Karl Anthony Towns ain't doing enough. Jalen Brunson a fucking beast.
He is.
Jalen Brunson a fucking beast. But you can't rely on him because they're gonna burn him. Jalen Brunson is like a good employee. All employees start as good before they become disgruntled.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah.
It's
so
true.
yeah, I'm gonna holler at you. Thanks for having me, man. Shout out my team. Shout out Rodney, man. Appreciate you for getting this locked in. Shout out Doc Martin. Appreciate you having me. Anytime you want me back, let's do that, man.
Let's do it, man. We're locked in.
Happy 4th of July for the people that celebrate the 4th of July. I'm black and I'm proud on some other shit. You feel me?
Yeah. I'm white and my allegiance is towards the black people. I'm sorry. I can't deal with the 4th of July. I'm not going to sit down and eat hot dogs with the stripes. Not happening.
The Glizzies! The Glizzies!
All right, Casablanca. Enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll talk soon.
Yes, sir. Peace.
All right, man. Peace out.